Problem statement. Based on the below criteria, segregate your target customers. That means if gender is M, that is male, marital status S, that is single, and annual income is greater than $100,000, then these will be your target customers. Now let us see how we can do this using the AND function. So let me add a new column and I'll name this target customer. Now the function that I'm going to use is AND. I'm sure most of the Excel users are already aware of the AND function. So the AND function checks for all the conditions that have been stated, and only if all those conditions are met is the result of the AND function true. That means each of the conditions should return a true, only then the AND function will return true. Even if one of the conditions stands false, then the AND function returns a false. So let us start typing in AND. But here, as you can see, using the AND function you can check only two logical conditions, unlike Excel where you can check multiple conditions. So only in such scenarios where we have only two conditions to be checked, we can use the AND function. So I'll just quickly take you through how to use the AND function. Now, although in our problem statement we have three conditions to check, that is if the gender is male, if the marital status is single, and if the annual income is greater than $100,000. But just for the sake of demonstration over here, we will check only two conditions. So let us check only the first two conditions, that is gender and marital status. So I want to compare the entries in the column gender in the table customer. Now this should be equal to male. Now since we are comparing text entries, we should put it in double quotes, comma. Now for the second condition we have to check the marital status, that is it should be single or S in this case. So the column is customer marital status equal to S in double quotes, close the bracket and hit enter. So here you can see a new column target customer has been added, which has two outputs, true and false. Let us just randomly check some results. So I have selected true over here, and now if we check the marital status, it should all be S. Yes, it is. And if we check the gender, it should be male. So the AND function has given us the correct output. But in our problem statement, we want to check three conditions. Let us see how we can do that. So I'll make the changes to the same calculated column. So in cases where you want to check more than two conditions, you have to use the AND operator, which is double ampersand. So in this case, I will combine it with an if. So I'll put an if, and for the logical test, I will say customer, and I'll choose the gender column is equal to male or M in double quotes. Then we will use the AND operator and check the next condition, customer. I hope you have noticed that we are still doing the logical test. We are not yet done with the logical test of the if function. So we are still providing the first parameter. So customer, and the column I am looking for is marital status. Select that, equal to single, S in double quotes, and now the final condition, customer annual income should be greater than 100,000. In the third condition, since we are not checking a text string, we do not have to give it in double quotes. But in the other two conditions, we should provide the value in double quotes. Now that we have given all three conditions, their ends are logical test. So I'll put a comma and then move to the next argument, which is result if true. Since we are using the AND condition, the result will be true only if all these three conditions are met. And in that case, I want the output to be yes. That means that customer is our target customer. Comma, and even if one of the condition fails, then the output should be no. Close the bracket and enter. So let us check our target customers. I'll select yes, and we can see that the customer is single, then all male, and the annual income is greater than $100,000. Now here, if we hadn't used the if function, the AND operator would have given us the output in Boolean values, that is true or false. But with the use of if, we have the flexibility to display the result of our choice. That is what should be displayed if the result is true and what should be displayed in case it is false. So let me quickly show it to you. So if I remove this if part, and now I only have the AND part. Now if I hit enter, you can see that it returns only true or false as the result. Though it certainly meets our purpose, but if you want a specific output to be displayed, you can combine it with the if function. Let me change it back to how it was. So in this demo, we understood that if we want to check two conditions, we can use the AND function. But in cases where there are more than two conditions to be checked, we have to use the AND operator, which is the double ampersand symbol.